Good afternoon, guys. We have how many people? 3, 4, 7, 10, 13, 15, 15, 15. Okay, not bad. We have 15 people here. So first of all, before even I start, I would like to thank you, for coming and attending the last keynote of this exceptional IFX Expo Asia. So today I'll be talking about Lost in Asia. If you're a follower of the Chinese movies, there are like a couple of good movies there. Lost in Thailand and Lost in Hong Kong. And well, it's not really going to be a comedy presentation, but I hope that we will be able to discuss some hidden outlets, strategies, and partnerships that you might need to win in Asia. So before we get started, let me introduce who we are. So Lingua Vista is the service company, the language service company, and I'm the CEO of Lingua Vista. At the same time, I'm also the CEO of Lingua Cloud, which is the tech company. And we were founded in 2012, and we have our offices in India and China. What do? We are a language solutions provider, multimedia solutions provider, and a localized sales solutions provider. So pretty much, we're kind of like your go-to guy for everything, and it's one-stop solution for anything that ranges from, from forex and technical analysis for your website content to maybe even getting affiliates and IBs for your business. And this is where our company comes in, and this is where my expertise comes in. So before even we start, about Asia, I think we need to define what's exactly Asia. I mean, not geographically, but what really means Asia to an average, or let's forget average, to an exceptional trader or a broker or a white label solutions provider. So I think when we're talking about Asia, we inevitably think about China, Japan, perhaps Korea. Many people forget India is a part of Asia, but India. And then we look at the Southeast Asia, the opening markets, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam. And the Asian way of doing things is distinctly different from the way we do things in Europe. As a company, with over 2,000 translators and 600 writers, when we are working with people and clients from around the world, including over 50 forex brokers who are present at this expo, we have our challenges when we are dealing with their specific needs from different locations. However, to generalize everything and to summarize, there are 3 characteristics that you must look up to if you want to break into Asia. And these characteristics may not be favorable, but then that is life. This is how it is. So if you want to do business in Asia, the first thing that you must know is connections are everything. And I'm not making an ambitious statement here. The way things work in China, the way things work in Japan, with our offices in China, Ethan is there, and connections are literally everything. So question is, with somebody, with a company, let's say you're starting out in the UK, you're starting out your business, you want to come to Asia, you want to do some really nice business, and you have a rock star team, and this team can do a lot of things, but guess what? You come here and you understand that you can't find the right affiliates. You can find the right business. And as one of my friends actually said, in China, especially in China, finding connections is more like hunting for a pin, a needle in a haystack. It's so hard to get to the right people that most businesses, they give up before even they start. And it's a very good example, actually, if you take a look at Google. Google came to China with all its might, financial resources, power, Technology? Yeah, Google has everything. What happened? It fizzled out. And that brings to the second point, which is speed is overrated. Many companies, when they come to China, Japan, India, Asia, okay, that's not my background noise, so I don't know where it's coming from. So many companies, when they're coming, it's kind of distracting. Anyway, so many companies, when they're coming to Asia, they expect work that's fast. They expect fast-paced work, because I went for my education in the US. I do business with a lot of American clients, and the hallmark of American business is that it's fast. You make decisions fast, you have an understanding what you're going to do, and you just get to it. That's it. China, Japan, speed, if anything, it's really overrated in the Asian market. We have been hearing, I don't know, for like the last decade, China is rising, it's opening up, but yet, I would say there is not a single company, platform solutions provider, that has been able to capture this market by its head. Why? And that's because the third point, patience is underrated. So if I am to cite Mr. Robin Li, the CEO of Baidu, I hope you guys know about Baidu, the Chinese Google, right? So if I have to quote Mr. Robin Li from Baidu, he said a very funny thing about Google. So when Google came to China, Google said this: China is a 5,000-year-old civilization, but we have 5,000 years of patience. But by 2008, Google was gone, and Baidu just ate the cake that Google left. Google acted too quick, left too quick, didn't have the patience to last, and now this year it's coming back. But then again, the ground that's already lost, can it make up? Maybe not. So these are the three things, the basics. If you want to get into the Chinese market, Asian market, Japanese market, this is the basics that you must understand. There is no way around it, period. You get connections, make sure you're not too fast to scale up, go slowly, and have the patience. Results are going to work your way. So, Freakonomics. Have you guys ever read the book called Freakonomics? Anybody? Levnit and Dubner? Freakonomics, yeah? So, what's Freakonomics about? Freakonomics is actually a really, really good book, and if you haven't had a chance to read it, please do read it. The key topic about Freakonomics is that it explains the hidden side of everything. During the course of our research that we did the last year, we found many correlations. As a marketing company, we have to do our research. We found many, many correlations which I think are interesting, but since we only have limited time, I'm only going to focus on three top things, in a Freakonomics way. So the first one is this. Right now, you have a lot of focus, a lot of thrust on digital marketing with analytics, and somebody comes up and tells you, you know what? We just want to have trader acquisition in an old-fashioned way. Ditch the digital marketing, ditch SEO analytics, ditch everything. We have our rock star guys who can go and talk and get business. So question for you guys is this. Which channel, digital marketing channel or even the trader, the old-fashioned trader acquisition channel, when you meet people face-to-face, you talk to them, you convince them, which channel do you think is good or is fruitful for businesses, brokers, who want to get into the Chinese market? Any thoughts, opinions, anybody? Sorry? Old-fashioned, I hear one. Anything you want to say? Digital? Anybody? Old-fashioned? Yeah. Okay, so our studies showed that 70% of brokers who are operating in China right now, their stats reveal that the old-fashioned trader acquisition model in China is good for long-term client retention. How do we define long-term client retention? 6 months, 1 year? For us, we took 2 years as a minimum standard for long-term client retention, in which the trader regularly invests every 3 months, which means every quarter. That's the definition of long term. But again, this is something that might change from person to person. Second question. Are you more likely to succeed if you have a Chinese brand name? Yes or no? Yes? Yes? Anybody? No? Okay, interesting. No? Okay. When I started the speech, does anybody remember my name right now? What's my name? Anybody remembers my name? I'm going to give free translation service for 1 year to anybody who remembers my name, except Teres. Abhi? Yeah, there we go. Why do you remember my name? And what's your name? Why? Why do you remember my name?
No, because I know someone called Abhi.
Well, yeah, but thing is, it's an Indian name.
Yeah, and also I kind of associate your name with you immediately. So
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm very happy. Thank you.
Is the offer still there?
Yeah, still there. We'll talk after this. But the point being here is that he remembers my name because he came across this name long before maybe the others of you came across my name. My name is Abhi Chakrabarti. My last name is very long, so I don't even say that. I skip it. But the point here that I'm trying to make is that you come up with a brand name that's really awesome. It rocks. You know, it's so good. It makes total sense in English. And you want to enter the dragon. You want to go to China with your English name. Our studies reveal that it actually doesn't work. An overwhelming 85% of Chinese traders in their survey, they report they would rather trade with a company with a Chinese name and with a Chinese representative. The key takeaway, though, is that they don't mind if this company is from UK, US, wherever. Doesn't matter. But they want that association to this Chinese identity. So that's why you have Colgate localized into what? What's Colgate in Chinese? The toothpaste. Colgate. We call it Colgate. I don't know. What? Gaolujia. Okay. And then Coca-Cola is Coca-Cola, right? I don't know. But anyway, that's the point I'm trying to make. We have a Chinese name. It's not Lingua Vista for China. It's Lingveda. So it's easy for others to, remember. The third point is actually, let's forget it. I think it's a mistake that should not be there. Okay, China in numbers. So 75%, by the way, this survey was done for, the first one was done for brokers. So 75% of brokers who operate in China and have recorded at least $1 million in sales in a year have at least a family or a friend in China involved in business. 75%. Now, sink that in. Right now, how many of you are not from China but have a family or a friend in China that you can trust on? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So good news for you guys is that you are most likely to fall in that 75% category. Why? Because these are the people who know the market better than you, who is trying to, let's say, get into this market. When I came into the Chinese market, on the back of Lingua Vista, I actually got very good support from my co-founder, Olivia Chen, Lingua Vista's co-founder, who, is Chinese and was there to guide me how to get in this market. So step one, if you haven't done this, please, please, please find a friend. Well, you cannot find a family member unless, you have somebody. But find a friend, find a relative, find somebody you can trust in China, and then build on top of that. Number one. Second, 65% brokers, they say that the trader acquisition in China can take at least 6 months. Now, how many brokers do we have here? Nobody? One? Have you had experience in trader acquisition in China in the past? No? Okay. Well, this is what the data says. Perhaps we should prove them wrong. We should do that less than 6 months. When in digital, market, we are talking about, say, people want to convert, clients as soon as possible. 6 months, it's off the charts, but that's the way it is. But the people who are investing money, I think, that you run after for 6 months in different methods, digital advertising, face-to-face talk, phone calls, if they turn out to be the long-term clients, it's all worth it in the end, guys. And the last one, 55% of platform providers have recorded losses for the first year before turning profit. So question for you guys, especially for brokers and platform providers, white label providers, are you willing to operate in China and make loss for the short run so that you might end up getting profitable in the long run? How many of you are willing to take that risk? One? Anybody else? Guys, no pain, no gain. Okay, so you see why. Patience, again. So 55% of platform providers, they recorded loss after loss. They have their office trying to make sales, having loss after loss, but till the point they get across the right channel, the right IB, the right affiliates, the right connections, right marketing strategies. And then what happens? Then what happens is that you have the population, the number to your advantage. The number of traders actively trading in China, not just now, let's talk about the potential future, the future traders. The number makes up for everything, but you must have a deep pocket or must be willing to have somebody to support you to go through this period, the 1 year that you may or may not get your money back. Nobody knows. And again, as I said, it's not going to be pretty, but this is reality. This is how it is. So, in the second half of my keynote, I'm going to be speaking on something that's a little bit off topic. I'm going to be talking about habit, So any habit, first of all, have you guys ever read the book called, Forming Habits? Anybody? So any habit is made of 3 parts: a cue, a routine, a reward. For example, if I feel hungry, I go to the nearest Starbucks and I'm going to have one, let's say, muffin there, and then I feel happy. So hunger is the cue, going to Starbucks is the routine, and then I feel happy is the reward. Now, why do I bring up habit out of nowhere? I bring up habit nowhere because essentially creating the habit among your traders is something that brands, they don't think about. And in that regard, we are going to be talking about Pestilent. You guys know Pestilent? Anybody? It's a toothpaste, right? Have you guys ever used Pestilent in your life? Which brand do you guys use? Colgate? Pestilent? Anything else? Okay, I'll take that as anything else. All right. So Pestilent is a case study. Claude Hopkins is the guy that I will call as the Pestilent man. He's the guy that engineered a revolution for changing a product which was a medicinal product, Pestilent, to a commercial product for everyday use. He changed the habit of an entire nation, the US, in early 1900s. And within 5 years, he made Pestilent popular, and by 1930s, it was also, China, Brazil, Germany, and where not. So how did he do that? How did he do that? So all of you guys, we have this tooth film on our, teeth. If you roll your tongues, you're going to be feeling that nasty tooth film there. This guy, Claude Hopkins, took that to an advantage. Now, make no mistake, this is natural. It does no harm. This tooth film is there. But he associated this idea that tooth film is bad, not good, disgusting. Then what did he do? Then he said, especially to the ladies, use Pestilent, have the Pestilent smile, have the shiny smile. In fact, the leading dental associations at that time said that Pepsodent was not even suitable, for removing the film. This is just, toothpaste would actually harm your teeth rather than do anything good. But he didn't stop there. He had a reward, and that reward was the last one, which is refreshing breath, clean teeth. And if you ever used Pepsodent, you would know that it has a tingy filling on your, tongue, which is now, I think, common for any toothpaste. But people use that as a reward. How many guys use shampoo and body wash? Or girls? I know. Everybody uses, I think, I presume. Can anybody tell me why do we have the lather on the shampoo, in the shampoo and the body wash? Why do we have the lather? The white foam, why do we have that? Anybody? Does having the lather solve any, or the foam solve any purpose at all? Is there any benefit or indication whatsoever? The truth is, it's a marketing gimmick. Having the foam is an indication to our brain that this is working. I'm washing my hands, I'm seeing the foam, it's working. If I use another product, I'm washing my hands, and I don't see foam, I say, it's not working. So where am I going with all this thing? Which brings here, how is Pepsodent relevant in the context of forex trading? First, forex trading is not a widespread phenomenon in China. Not everybody does that openly, and you know that. That's why you don't see, the big guys having the advertisements, on the subway and the buses in China. Go to Shenzhen, and you're going to be seeing one company called VIP ABC, which is teaching English language. It's all over, the metro, the subway, the bus, just name it. Just take the train, cross the border, come here to Hong Kong, and they don't exist. Second, in today's world, we are focusing too much on analytics. We are focusing too much on advertising channels. We focus on numbers. How many people are clicking our advertisements? How many people are viewing us? We're approaching this product more like numbers, like 5,000 per click, maybe it's good. 10,000 per click, this is how we're approaching. We are not focusing on changing a habit. We're not focusing on actual people. For example, if Ethan is here, what makes Ethan, what will make you change your habit to come and invest $200 into my forex business? I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking, which company should I hire to magically transform my money into getting new leads? Leads. We don't need leads. We need actual clients. And if you want to succeed in China, you don't need leads. There are lots of leads. It's a billion, the population is more than a billion. Come to India, it's another billion, 2 billion over, and you don't need leads. You need consumers. You need people who can bring money, and for that, you have to focus on content. And the third one is lack of innovation in selling a product, which brings me to the point that, we have all the leading brands here, and all of them are equally good. You have MetaCodes, Tradologic, Spot Option. They're all doing their things, and they're equally good. You are fighting in a market where it's so not segregated, it's actually so compact that to distinguish your product from another product is really, really hard. And we are all going in the same direction, We are talking about execution speed. We're talking about high returns. Lack of innovation. We're not talking about things which are beyond forex, beyond investing. We're only talking about the things which are rudimentary. Everybody's talking about. And everybody's investing, and yet somebody's, the brands are thinking, oh, you know what? Maybe my brand is going to stand out because I invested $10,000 in Google AdWords SEO, and I have rock star people who are going to make things happen for me. I have a good translation guy in my office. I have a good marketing person. I have good sales specialists. It's going to work out. But it never works out because we don't innovate. And which is up to the leaders in the industry today to come up. How are you going to innovate in a market, in a market that's cluttered with the same product, same people, trying to reach to the same audience again and again and again every single year, year after year? So What can we do? Strategies. Learn Chinese and Japanese. How many here knows Chinese? I mean, who is not a Chinese? 你们说普通话吗？你说吗？啊，你？ Of course. Why go run? How many foreigners do we have here that want to learn? Oh, you? Yeah. Chinese. Japanese? So why did you learn Chinese? Interest, personal interest? Family situation? Okay, and you, sir? Oh, okay. You want to do business in China. You need to learn a little bit of Chinese, and that's coming from experience, very simple as that. My wife is Chinese, but that's another story. You know, I ended up learning Japanese as well. But why? Why? I want to do business in China. I want to get clients from China. I want to get clients from Spain. I want to get clients from anywhere around the world. That's okay. But in the market that I want to work with, I want to work in France, and I expect that the French people should come and invest in my product, and I'm not willing to even show them that I even care. It's never going to work out. You want to make connections in China. Must learn Chinese, and if you are not convinced, please take a cue from Mark Zuckerberg. Best example. Second, don't follow traffic blindly. You know, last month I got a client, and he came to me, and he's from Middle East, and he said, oh, you know, Abi, I have a, you know, good binary options broker. We have been working for like 10, 15 years. We have offsite clients. We want to do digital. We want to go digital now, Abi. Can you help us? We want lots of traffic. Get us digital, get us money, make us millionaire. My answer to them was that, what kind of traffic do you want? His answer was, anything. Okay, then I go, all right. So which countries are you focusing on? Anywhere. So if you come with an idea, this mindset that you're going to be working anything, anywhere, however, how much are you willing to spend? Any amount. I mean, ideally, it's a good client for us, but you know, it's really unreasonable if you promise anybody that you can do anything. So it should never, never, ever follow traffic blindly. Question, where are your leads coming from? You are getting 5,000 clicks per minute, or what? You know, you're getting 5,000 visitors every day. Where are they coming from? Are they even real? What are they about? In a country where you have 1 billion, you know, people, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 1, I don't know, million, it's irrelevant. Doesn't matter if it does not bring you a single dollar. Don't follow traffic blindly. Third, focus on limited digital advertising and more on networking. In my 3 years in this industry, I have seen 3 clients go broke, and they were my friends. Of course, they didn't work with us because we don't do digital advertising. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on advertising, and their brands collapsed because they didn't understand the basics of breaking into the Asian market, which is make friends, make connections. Connections, friends, then business. It's not business, then friends, and maybe connections. No. Connections, friends, and then business. Please focus more on networking, and that's why actually it's a good advertisement. Eris, I'm going to be advertising IFX Expo Asia now, but you know, that's why it's a good advertisement here, that you come to events like this, attend many events, make friends, and get things done. And last, focus on developing brand reputation and easy to remember brand name and using local channels. So people don't care really, you know, like where you come from. It's a global world. You know, I'm from India, went to US, wife is Chinese. People ask me where I'm from. I say 30% time I'm in China, 30% of time I'm in India, 30% in US, and the rest 10%, well, I'm just traveling. But point is, nobody cares now where are you from. Everybody cares about your reputation. Have people heard about you? If not, my favorite entrepreneur, you know, I started my business when I was 20 and I'm 24. My favorite entrepreneur is Sir Richard Branson. You know what he says? Screw it, let's do it. That's his tagline, and I follow it in my life every time. Why? Because if nobody knows about your brand, If you don't go out to the street, if you don't talk people, if you are not passionate and if you are not doing this, nobody will care about your brand if you're not caring enough to make it popular. Develop brand reputation and make it easy to remember, And using local channels, this is a very, very important point. Now, how many of you have WeChat? Other than my Chinese friends, how many of you have WeChat? Foreigner, but have WeChat, right? And Renren, and Weibo. So, Facebook doesn't work. Google doesn't work. Twitter doesn't work. And yet you want to get into the Chinese market, and you don't have Weibo, you don't have Weixin, WeChat, don't have Renren. Local channels. And the way things work in China, Japan, the local channels is entirely different. In the West, I'm more on the Western side. In the West, we like simplistic outlook, as you might agree. Facebook, blue and white, that's it. Take a look at Chinese advertising. Take a look at, the advertising that you're going to be seeing in China. It's so colorful. You have the QR codes every time. Colorful, and the outlook, it's entirely different. And yet somehow, when we talk about localization, we only focus on content. We only focus on content that, oh, this is English, this is Chinese, let's do Japanese, Korean. Hey, we're done, ready to launch. My rockstar team is going to make it work out. Guess what happens? It doesn't work out. Why? Because you forgot one important link here, and that link was your target audience, who can't care less about the content, but actually care more about the UI, how it works, how it feels for them. Is it convenient? Is it not convenient? Is it intuitive for them? Yes or no? Those are the things that you need as a broker, as a platform solutions provider, to integrate in your solution to get into the Chinese market. And lastly, talking of the special channels, I would like to really focus on one thing, which is this thing, Das TV. You might want to take a picture or maybe have a email. This is a live broadcasting TV that will debut in the IFX Expo in Cyprus, and this will focus on Asian market in particular. Das TV is going to be the answer for. I'm actually in talks with the guy who's developing this, the partner, that's Ethan, and this will be mainly for the financial news, financial content, financial trading. Why? How many guys know here about Douyu? Even my Chinese friends, Douyu. Douyu, is that how we pronounce it? How do you pronounce it? Douyu? Douyu. Twitch, how many of you know Twitch? Meerkat? Periscope? Okay. Periscope, Meerkat, Meerkat, right? Is it? No? Okay. Check it out, please. It's in China, it's a very, very big business. Many people, they go online, as you might know. They see people play games online. And the players who are playing, they have thousands of followers, and they bring them along, they tag them along. Go to China, go to Japan, go to Korea. This is how, if you want anything to get famous, you put that in such channels. And it gets famous because people really go and watch this thing. This is more for gaming. Das TV will be doing the same thing, but for finance. Now imagine if you want to reach out to Chinese traders, your traders can actually trade on your platform, and your audience is actually going to be seeing that live. Not going to take your words, it's easy or not easy. They're going to be actually looking and seeing if it is really easy or not. This is what Das TV is going to be about, and it's going to be in the IFX Expo in Cyprus. So watch out for that, especially for the Asian market. And lastly, that's me, my email. I think, okay, I'm a little bit over time, but that's my email. And I'll be again in Cyprus. We'll be exhibiting there. And if you have any questions and free offer that we just talked about, so I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you once again for coming to IFX Expo in Hong Kong. Thank you for attending. And we hope that you had a very good time, and see you again in Cyprus. Bye-bye, guys.